Hey guys, Blake here with another video, and today I want to introduce you to this little shell dweller here. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but I think it's got a little bit of a point of difference to it. So let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so this tank here behind me holds my three Lemprologus ocellatus gold, also known as the ocellated shell dweller. Ocellated means to have eye-like markings. I'm not really sure where that comes from because I don't believe that to be the case, but the other common name they have is the frog-faced cichlid, which I think is hilarious and one of those things that you can't unsee once you look at these little guys here. These guys here come from Lake Tanganyika, and as such they come from sandy areas littered with shells and rocks. So not a plant to be seen, but people have had mixed success with Anubias java fern, sometimes Vallisneria, but other than that, yeah, pretty much not plant compatible, unfortunately. And best success is had just trying to replicate their natural habitat. So I've got some pool filter sand in here, which is really cheap and readily available. We've got some serious stone in here just to buffer up the pH. We will discuss the pH further on in this video. And we've got some escargot shells, which are easily found on eBay or going through catering websites. You just want to sort of treat them properly before putting them in your aquarium, which I've got a video explaining how to do that. I'll put the card above now. So being a shell dweller, what does that mean? It means that they live and breed within shells. So they will lay their eggs inside a shell. If I come up here making very erratic movements, they will hide within the shell. And quite funnily as well, they will bury their shells. So they've got some interesting behavior where they like to bury the shells around the ones that they've decided to breed in, just so that any competing female shell dwellers won't sort of move in next door, which I think is pretty hilarious as well. And then the ones that they do have a successful spawn within, they'll half bury it as well, just to make it a little bit more subtle and make sure that nobody else is going to move in on their turf. In terms of tank size and fish size, tank size I'd recommend about a 15 gallon or 60 litre aquarium. Around about the 2 foot length or the 60 centimetre length is a good one, and be mindful that they will strictly stay at the bottom of the aquarium, so footprint is way more important than height. If you had the choice between a 15 gallon that was 2 foot tall or a 10 gallon that is mostly width and length at the bottom of the aquarium, then I'd probably even recommend the 10 gallon because they are a cichlid and they do get quite aggressive, so it is important to give them plenty of area to set up their little territories. It is also a good idea on that point to keep more females than males. I've got a trio in here, 2 females, 1 male, and as you would expect with what I just said, one female set up a territory right over this side, the other female set up a territory right over that side. The male just kind of hangs in the middle and just goes and visits each one as he pleases. In terms of size, males will get larger, about 2.4 inches or 6 centimeters. Females will get 1.4 inches or 3.5 centimeters. So that is one way that you can tell the sex difference between these fish. The other way is because the females are going to have a white trim along their fins and the males are going to have more of a gold trim along their fins. So those are the 2 ways that you can tell the difference between males and females. Like other shell dwellers and most African cichlids actually, they really like to dig, and it's really fun to come into the fish room every time and you'll see everything will be in a whole new spot. So bear that in mind if you are going to place large rocks around the aquarium. You want to provide plenty of sand because there is always a chance that they will excavate and tip over a large rock, and you just don't want to come in and see that they've sort of squashed themselves or others within the aquarium just by doing what they do, which is loving to dig. As you can see in here, I've kept mainly rocks to the halfway point of the aquarium, and I think that's a pretty safe way to do it, but bear that in mind that if you've got a big rock or a rock that's not that sturdy, then maybe reconsider that in your shell dweller aquarium. If your aim is to breed them, you'll have the best success in a species-only aquarium, but if you want to keep them with other fish, Juliodochromis are a really great option because they are sort of aggressive, kind of small, in the similar ballpark to these guys, and they're more of a rock dweller, and they prefer to hang out in the mid-level of the aquarium more so than the bottom. So consider pairing with Juliodochromis, but I'd really recommend just keeping them species only. It'll be really fun to watch multiple generations raise up together, which is a really fascinating thing, and one of the best things I think about these fish is that they will have multiple generations in the same aquarium and they can easily be colony bred. So long as you've got a big enough aquarium. If you're squeezing 100 of them into a smaller aquarium, then you might find that the slightly older fish are going to target the young ones, and so on and so forth. So be prepared to give them heaps of room, and they'll reward you for it with multiple generations of babies. And yeah, pretty easy fish to sort of breed and continue to breed. Now, in terms of the big 3 things that we consider with keeping fish, temperature wise, 23 to 27 degrees Celsius, 73 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. pH wise, being from Lake Tanganyika, they're going to want 7.5 to 9 pH, so get that hardness in the water. As you can see, I've loaded up the Ceres stone. I'd prefer to use pieces of limestone or coral sand rather than buffers, because it will just give you more stability if you can do that. And then the last one is their diet. They are carnivorous fish, so they usually eat on little crustaceans and things in the wild. So give them a carnivorous diet, and yeah, they'll handle the proteins a lot better than your Mbuna and other African cichlids. Other than that, these guys can give you a really nice coloration. They've got sort of a gold base and a blue sheen to them, and yeah, they show some really awesome behavior. They can make more and be a fairly easy sort of hands-off fish. They'll just do their own thing and make more of themselves in their own time. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you're interested in these awesome little shell dwellers. People always ask where I get mine from, and I got mine from Fastway Aquarium in West Footscray, Victoria. So if you're in the area, they might still have some, they might not, but you shouldn't have too much trouble tracking them down if you do a little bit of searching around on Google. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, it always helps me out to smash like, hit subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.